Most managers think that the outside world has impact on their business, on their behavior, on their decisions. So they have a very rational view on how they act and react in a business context. In this video, I want to take a reverse view because I believe it's not the outside world impacting the business, it's primarily our inner world impacting your behavior, your decisions in the business. So what happens when we observe a situation or we meet a person? Normally, we immediately react to this situation, right? We create an emotion maybe, we start an action, so we are in a reaction mode. But what happens when we look deeper? And there's 3 steps that our mind goes through whenever we see something, observe something. The first step is perceiving. We perceive data through our senses. We listen, we smell and taste, we feel, or we hear. And of course, we see things. So that's the pure perception. We use our senses to perceive data in our mind. That's the first step. The second then is our mind immediately creates interpretations. Based on your experience, you have made positive or negative experiences. You see patterns, and based on the data you perceive, you create an interpretation. In other words, you construct a reality. And that is your reality. A different person, the same situation, probably interprets the data in a complete different way. So 2 people have created 2 different realities. And that's, by the way, something you can observe in social media or elsewhere, where whenever something pops up, a new topic, immediately people start arguing because they just have different interpretations or different realities. So that's the second step. First is perceiving data. The second one is interpreting data, creating a reality. And then the third step might be you create an emotional resonance to it. You resonate with your reality, which means you don't resonate with what happens, you resonate with what you have interpreted. And resonance can be positive or negative. You either like it or you don't like it, right? You can also be neutral, so there is no obvious emotion or reaction to something. You're neutral, but very often you see a person, you like this person or you don't like this person. So that's the 3 steps: perception, interpretation, resonance. And that's the way we interpret the world outside. So the question is now, when 2 people create 2 different interpretations or realities, what determines those realities? Where do they come from? And of course, that is your personality. It's your unconscious filters, experiences from the past, patterns you have learned, desires you have, and so on. So probably you're familiar with the iceberg. Everything below the waterline is or may impact your interpretations. And something you don't like, another person likes, and vice versa. And this is what I mean. Whenever you see something in the outside world, the market's changing, one team member behaves in a strange way and you don't understand that. A customer behaves in a certain way, right? So many things happening. You observe the world, but immediately you create an interpretation. You create your reality. And then you react to it. You make a decision. That's what I mean. Your inner world, your interpretations and realities impact your decision making. And your decisions create a future. Every decision we make changes something and creates a future state. Effectively, it's not the outside world that impacts our business, but it's the interpretation of outside changes that impacts our decision making. How can we overcome that as managers? Well, I think what we have to learn is something called mindfulness. And this is not something, connected to esoteric practices. It's a state of mind where we are present and we have the ability to observe our interpretations, the way we interpret things, the way we judge things, our thinking, our feeling, our emotions. And mindfulness is an important state, also a mind state, also for managers. Because every impulse that comes, every impact, everything we observe, every data, every sense we use, goes through our filters. And in the very moment when we observe our thinking, we have the ability to not react, but to act. And that's a skill that I want managers and leaders in the future to practice. Not just reacting to everything based on your filters in your mind, but hanging on for a moment, making a pause, and start in a mindful state observing your way of thinking, the way you interpret things, and then make a conscious decision, either alone or with others together, in order to make a better decision, right? And that's why mindfulness is a key competence for leaders in the future, because the world will be changed and the future will be created based on your state of mind. So it's important to practice and establish mindfulness as a key skill for designing futures, for leading people, and for yourself. Thank you.